of censorship and unnecessary lockdowns, Big Pharma's grip over our country could soon be over. According to a recent report by Axios, Trump recently organized a high-stakes meeting with RFK Jr. and top pharmaceutical executives. Axios stated Pfizer CEO Albert Bourla, Lilly CEO David Ricks were at dinner. Steve Ubel, CEO of Pharmaceutical Research and Manufacturers of America, or Pharma, represented the industry at the table. Trump's incoming chief of staff, Susie Wiles, also attended. While specific details about the meeting have not been released, the fact that these people all came together to sit at the same table is refreshing. I'm sure they also were terrified. Now, I have no doubt RFK Jr. will do what is right after being extremely vocal about holding Big Pharma accountable. My guess is they laid out an outline of how to work within the United States, but also doing the right thing. And the fact that once RFK Jr. is in his role, he is going to be investigating. Now, even though we don't know how their conversation went, RFK Jr. has been very clear about what Trump wants him to accomplish. Recently, RFK Jr. detailed this by stating, Trump wants me to do three things. One, clean up the corruption of the agencies. Two, return those agencies to the gold standard science, the empirically based, evidence-based medicine that they were famous for when I was a kid. Number three is to make America healthy again and to end the chronic disease epidemic. And President Trump has told me that he wants to see measurable, concrete results within 2 years in terms of a measurable diminishment in chronic disease for American kids. Now, this is huge, right? So basically, Trump is giving him the green light to do whatever is necessary to have measurable results on chronic illness, and specifically chronic illness with our children and our grandchildren. Now, this is music to my ears. After COVID, even Dr. Fauci admitted that the 6-foot distancing rule wasn't based on data or science. So I'm a bit tired of people creating random rules that affect our lives without having good evidence. Now, I understand that some rules may have seemed like common sense, but if they aren't based in solid data, really, they're just someone's opinion. And I do not want my life locked down over somebody's opinion. But even though we may disagree with the practice of Big Pharma, violence should never be the answer. Unfortunately, this apparently was the answer for the evil man who killed the CEO of UnitedHealthCare. While there are many theories in regards to the suspect's motivation, lawyer Alan Dershowitz, who's been on my show half a dozen times, has suggested that he may have been killed in connection with an insider trading investigation. Now, during a recent interview, he stated, I have a theory about why the CEO was killed. There was an investigation about insider trading. There was, he was being investigated, meaning the CEO of UnitedHealthCare. There were people out there who would be afraid he would flip and turn against them. Now, one of those people is Nancy Pelosi. There's now video coming out about how UnitedHealthCare was seeking these grants and being given huge amounts of taxpayer money. And he said multiple times that Nancy Pelosi was working with him to get this done. So why would Nancy Pelosi be working on something at the same time buying stock in those same somethings, right? Now, lawyer Dershowitz likely would not have opined on this if he had not done some research. But with that being said, it appears we're one step closer, to finding the motives of the 26-year-old man by the name of Luigi Mangione, and he has been questioned by the NYPD for the murder of CEO Brian Thompson. Now, hopefully this isn't a catch and release situation in New York City like they do with illegal immigrants. He was detained at a McDonald's in Altoona, Pennsylvania, after a employee there recognized him. On top of that, everybody's been asking this mystery killer with the mask, What gun was he using, right? And all the gun advocates have been going crazy. Well, it looks like he may have 3D printed his own gun and then etched those words, those 3 words in the bullet casing. Now, according to CNN, Mangione reportedly also had a fake ID and a backpack full of Monopoly money. So was this kid crazy? Was he an idiot? No, he was actually a very high IQ person. He was the valedictorian at his high school and had incredible grades at UPenn. So the guy was basically going to an Ivy League school. So you have a little bit of crazy mixed with vigilante justice, mixed with like the Unabomber, right? Who was a brilliant PhD level educated man. That's what we have going on with Luigi Mangione, the killer of the CEO of UnitedHealthCare. Now, here's some additional information on Luigi. According to the Daily Mail, the suspect comes from a wealthy Maryland family led by the late real estate mogul Nicholas Mangione. Now, Luigi is also the cousin of Republican Maryland House of Delegates Nino Mangione. Maybe this man thought he could get away with murder because of how wealthy his family is, but his motive is still unknown. But here's one thing I learned from the riots in New York, as well as the riots that happened in Minnesota back in 2020, was that a lot of the people that were out for vigilante justice or Black Lives Matter or equity justice, many of them were very wealthy white kids or very privileged and wealthy college-age kids. So these wealthy kids, I'll just call them kids because they're in their like 20s, they are basically going through Ivy League education, being told white people are bad, corporate America is bad, America is bad, having money is bad. And so they start feeling bad, they start getting confused, and then they go to these rallies in support of equity and justice and racial tension, and then they end up throwing bricks through windows or lighting buildings on fire or even killing people, right? So it's pretty crazy. Now, the real question is, why did this Republican government leader not turn his family member in? Did he not recognize him because of the mask? Was he not following the story? Was he covering for his family? I have no idea, but the question has to be asked, right? Now, as Republicans start to overtake the Senate, House Representative Adam Schiff has officially resigned, but not from Congress. He's just getting ready to move over to be the senator of California. Now, here's what's really rich about this ding-dong, Adam Schiff, who I just loathe as a human being. He doesn't even live in California. So people in California are so stupid that they just elected a senator who actually lives on the East Coast. He doesn't even live in their state. Now, I can't be too hard on them because this is exactly what Mitt Romney did. He moved from Massachusetts to Utah, got his seat in Utah, and then lived in California and back east. He didn't even really live in Utah very much. So anyway, I love California, but I do not like their politics. And this is just another example of bad politics. So going forward in early 2025, Representative Adam Schiff will be sworn in as Senator Adam Schiff. I really hope he gets investigated, and his name is on the short list of people that Joe Biden wants to preemptively pardon, even though he hasn't been charged with any crimes. Go figure. Probably because of the Russia bullcrap that guy was stuffing down our throat. Now, in my opinion, I doubt this will do much as the Senate still contains a Republican majority, but Adam Schiff is becoming Senator Adam Schiff. Now, as Trump's Pentagon chief nominee, Pete Hegseth, faces sexual assault allegation, VP candidate J.D. Vance seemed to suggest the allegations were false. J.D. Vance stated, Pete Hegseth is going to get his hearing before the Senate Armed Services Committee, not a sham hearing before the American media. We believe Pete Hegseth is the right guy to lead the Department of Defense. Now, Pete himself also addressed the controversy, stating, "I don't answer to anyone in this group, none of you," meaning the media, not to that camera. "I answer to President Trump. I answer to the 100 senators who are a part of this process. And I answer to my Lord and Savior and my wife and my family." Now, despite similar allegations ending the chances of Matt Gaetz, Trump seemed confident that Pete Hegseth's nomination would go through. Trump stated, "Pete Hegseth is doing very well. His support is strong and deep, so much so that the fake news would have you believe. He was a great student, Princeton, Harvard educated, with a military mind. He will be a fantastic, high-energy Secretary of Defense, one who leads with charisma and skill. Pete is a winner, and there is nothing that can be done to change that." Now, there was sexual assault allegations, but there was never a crime, never any booking, nothing like that. After investigating, the entire thing was dropped. All right, now that we're approaching mid-December, it has been long enough to tell if Biden's withdrawal from the presidential race actually saved his reputation like Democrats were saying it would. Unfortunately for Biden, it did not. Biden will go down in history as the worst president that America has ever seen. This is not my opinion. The Daily Mail reported from JL Partners, which surveyed 1,006 registered voters who ranked Joseph Robinette Biden alongside every other president. Biden scored worse than Richard Nixon. Worse. So as of right now, Joe Biden, Joseph Robinette Biden, has been voted by American voters as the worst president in American history. Now, let me know in the comments, do you agree? I do. I think Biden and Kamala Harris have been worse than anybody else. And it's not just because I'm a Donald Trump fan. Look at how expensive your life has become. Look at how dangerous America has become. Our border is overwhelmed. Our schools are overwhelmed. Our hospitals are overwhelmed. Why? Because these feckless, terrible leaders thought they could give away candy and money and free membership to America with no repercussions. Well, they were wrong. So the Daily Mail stated Biden came at the very bottom of the table, making him the worst in 47 years. Some 44% placed him as one of the worst two, while only 40% placed him in the top two, giving him a net score of 30 points underwater. That's worse than Richard Nixon, who came out with -25, and Donald Trump with -15. So even at his most terrible, with Donald Trump having all of those lies on the mainstream media, they're still saying Donald Trump was way better than Joe Biden. Now, honestly, I don't know how anyone could have come to a different conclusion. President Biden is a corrupt man that brought in close to $28 million by selling out our country. He's wasted billions and billions of dollars of American taxpayer money. He stood by and allowed Russia to attack Ukraine and Israel to be attacked. He's been a lame duck, sitting duck for far too long. I am so happy to see him voted as the worst president. Again, let me know your thoughts down below. All right, I have some more big stories, but first a word from our sponsor. The government is tightening its grip on social media giants like Facebook, Twitter, and Google, and even attempting to ban TikTok. Just 2 years ago, they pushed experimental medicine on the public. The FDA's actions often benefit Big Pharma, which has a darker agenda at play. They don't care if you're healthy because it's not health care, it's sick care. They literally make more money off of you being sick than healthy. Consider NMN, a supplement that boosts NAD levels in our bodies, keeping our cells energized. Your body has 35 trillion cells that need NAD. The FDA now wants to reclassify NMN to make it a drug that only Big Pharma can sell. As we age, our NAD plus levels drop, and NMN can help restore them, providing benefits like improved energy, weight management, endurance, strength, and anti-aging properties. In fact, the #1 anti-aging expert in the world was interviewed by Joe Rogan, and he specifically names NMN as a way to fight aging because of the positive effects it has on the NAD in our body. Now, Black Forest is who I use to get my NMN. Their NMN is fully in stock, and they are committed to spreading the word about its benefits. As a daily user, I've noticed increased energy and overall better health. In fact, Black Forest is in the process of suing in order to keep NMN a supplement versus a prescription that doctors and Big Pharma control and make money on. Now, don't miss out. Go to blackforestsupplements.com/Steve. Right now, if you buy 2 bottles, you get one totally free. I'm going to leave a link in the description down below. Check it out. All right, now over in Ukraine, Canada's Minister Dominique LeBlanc announced that the firearms they restricted in Canada will likely be rounded up and sent to Ukraine. That's right. In a recent statement, LeBlanc revealed that an additional 324 models of assault-style firearms are now officially prohibited in the country of Canada. He said this prohibition takes effect immediately. This means these firearms can no longer be legally used, sold, or imported in Canada, and can only be transferred or transported under extremely limited circumstances. As part of that process, the government of Canada has committed to the Ukrainian government to identify whether some of these guns could be donated to support the fight for democracy in Ukraine. Now, you guys, this is insane. Think about that. They are banning guns in Canada. They will then confiscate those guns and they will then donate them to Ukraine. Can you imagine if this bullcrap happened in America? You steal our money in the form of taxes, and then you try and steal our guns and our ammunition so that you can give it to Zelensky over in Ukraine? Absolutely not. America would rebel. But Canada, unfortunately, until Justin Trudeau is gone, they just have to roll over and take it. And speaking of taking it, they're taking your guns and then sending them to Ukraine. Now, it's very interesting to me that Canada supports Ukraine using assault weapons in order to protect against democracy, but Canadians using firearms to defend themselves, their families, and democracy? No. That would just be too much for Canada. All right, now that Trump has regained power, President Trump is moving full force with his plan to end birthright citizenship. During a recent interview with NBC, Trump expressed his frustration with the current law by stating, "Do you know if somebody sets a foot, just 1 foot, you don't need to have 2, into our land, congratulations, you're now a citizen of the United States of America. We are going to end that because it's ridiculous." However, Trump's confidence may be misplaced, just as Joe Biden's was when he promised to cancel student loan debt. According to law professor Jessica Levinson, Trump's reinterpretation of the 14th Amendment, which grants birthright citizenship, won't hold up. She stated, "You can't executive order your way out of the Constitution. If you want to end birthright citizenship, you need to amend the Constitution, not issue an executive order. The 14th Amendment is clear, period, full stop. If you are born in this country, you are a citizen of this country. Now, let me know your thoughts down below, because this has divided opinions. Some say Trump will be able to end this, and all of these illegal immigrants that have come here in order to have babies, they're going to be removed, and the incentive to come here is going to be removed. Now, I think it's an interesting idea. I don't know that somebody who gets here, lives off of our welfare tax dollars and welfare programs, can have a baby, and suddenly that baby has full rights to be an American citizen. You should be an American citizen. You should also come here legally, which is why the Democrats lost to Donald Trump in the first place. Even some of the most blue cities full of legal immigrants voted for Donald Trump because they know the importance of being here legally versus illegally. Now, after reports indicated that Biden may pardon his loyalist, Donald Trump accused Liz Cheney of destroying evidence from the J6 committee that would have exonerated him. Donald Trump stated, Liz Cheney did something that's inexcusable, along with Thompson and the people on the unselect committee of political thugs, creeps. They deleted and destroyed all evidence. There's nothing left. It's unprecedented, and they deny you doing that. In a civil case, you go to jail. So basically, he's saying, I don't have the ability to defend myself, and these people should go to jail. Let me know what you think. I, for one, I was really angry. Like, imagine something really horrible that you're accused of, and then the very people accusing you destroy the evidence you need in order to defend yourself. However, Liz Cheney in response stated, there is no conceivably appropriate factual or constitutional basis for what Donald Trump is suggesting. A Justice Department investigation of the work of a congressional committee, and any lawyer who attempts to pursue that course would quickly find themselves engaged in sanctionable conduct. Now, my guess is Liz Cheney is pushing back because she doesn't want to go to jail, and she doesn't want to spend $1 million defending herself in a lawsuit. But the reality is, we know for a fact that she and others destroyed evidence against President Trump in order to trap him on the January 6th situation. Now, for those unaware, Representative Barry Loudermilk found out that 117 of the J6 files went missing due to someone at the panel deleting them, purposefully deleting them. Representative Loudermilk stated, it's obvious that the J6 committee went to great lengths to prevent Americans from seeing certain documents produced in their investigation. It appears that Benny Thompson and Liz Cheney intended to obstruct our subcommittee by failing to preserve critical information and videos as required by House rules. Now, I guess we'll have to see if Cheney is telling the truth after Trump conducts an investigation. I, for one, would love to see the truth come out about the FBI's involvement, the fact that they covered up the fact that General Milley rejected the National Guard, Nancy Pelosi rejected the National Guard, Mayor Muriel Bowser of Washington, D.C., the fact that they refused to publicly share Kash Patel's testimony with the American public. These guys know that they did wrong. They know that Kash Patel wants to investigate them. And so they're doing everything in their power to try to intimidate and scare people into not investigating them. Hey, let me know down below right now before you go. Do you want to see Liz Cheney investigated for J6? Do you want to see Nancy Pelosi investigated for insider trading, specifically insider trading connections that may be a part of this assassination of the UnitedHealthCare CEO? Let me know down below. I love you guys. Give this video a like, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you on the next video.